Hello, Doom fans. I am here in beautiful downtown Tacoma. Well, maybe it's not downtown. It's just sort of a warehouse district. And that's the I-5 over there, okay? The camera person will pan over to so you can see the I-5, sort of, maybe. And then what I am doing, I am on here. Look through the screen so you can see if I'm centered. Amateur cameraman. I'm getting the thing. Okay. It is after 2 years of long and sometimes extremely frustrating times, it is now time to play Let's Make a Tombstone Deal. Okay? And I have to pick the right door to get my tombstone. If I don't pick the right door, that whole 2 years is going to go to waste, okay? Well, not really, but anyway. All right, will I pick door number 1? That door is open, but I have not been over to look in there, okay? Looks like it's pointing up too much. Okay. And will I pick door number 2? Over here by my right? Well, that looks like a pretty good door. And it should be in the middle, right? Or will I pick door number 3? No, Monty. Let's go with door number 3. And here comes Monty. And we don't have any of those beautiful girls that Monty always has. So Monty has to do all work. And it is there, but it is far back. So we're going to need to move the camera. Holy cow! Look at that. And here comes the camera. Drop it on the pavement. Oh man. Now that is a tombstone. Okay. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Let me see. Around, come closer to it myself. And I shall explain to you, my readers and watchers and viewers, the features of the monument to Sun. As you can see, Sustaining Universal Needs Foundation has been engraved into the granite, okay, along with the other engravings. And the Doomstead Diner, which is our blog that covers industrial civilization collapse, okay. And then this is the base slab. It's got, for when I croak, my information about when I was born, when I died, and the motto of the diner and the Sustaining Universal Needs Foundation: save as many as you can. Okay, and now next up, maybe you want to move back just a little bit. This here, this shape, and this stone is the golden rectangle. Okay, and basically it's a mathematical ratio of the width of the rectangle to its length, and a lot of biological organisms like snails, like many trees and other formations are based on this, and you see this over and over again in nature. All right, so I had the shape, that snail shape, engraved in, and then here is some more information that you can read. Here lies the corporeal remains of John Litter. That's who I used to be. Now I am RE, aka reverse engineer RE across cyberspace. Born in New York City, August 31st, 1957. Died where I currently live, I assume, in Palmer, Alaska. But I'm not dead yet, okay? I'm not dead. Oh, I have the talking hand again. I use this on my cooking show, okay? And you can read the rest. I'll have pictures anyway, and the front. All right, let's move away from the text. And now you see the next, the shapes, important shapes. On the left, we have a tetrahedron, which is one of the 5 Platonic solids, which is perfect solid. All the faces and all the edges are the same length. And on a tetrahedron, there are 4 faces. Tetra, that's the Greek prefix for 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bottom makes the bottom. And it's not the same as like an Egyptian pyramid, okay? Those have square bottoms and then triangles on the top. And they are not Platonic solids. They are solids, but not Platonic, okay? There are only 5 of them. The smallest is a tetrahedron. Then you go up to a cube. There's no cube here. This used to be a cube, but it ended up a rectangle in the final design. And after the cube is this guy over here, which is a dodecahedron. Okay? Dodeca is the prefix for 12. There are 12 faces to a dodecahedron, and they're all pentagons in this case. So you got 1 on the top, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then flip it over and you got another 6 on the bottom, same deal. Okay? And once again, it's all perfect, all the same size, and all the same faces, edges, everything is identical. Okay, we will get to this literature afterwards. Let's go around to the back end. Let's see what's on the back. All right. And on the back here, we have the text. Oh, razor blade. Sustaining Universal Needs Foundation, our 501c3 nonprofit corporation, where our goals are to, build a better tomorrow. But that mainly means making sure there's affordable housing, affordable energy, and affordable food for the population. Those are our important goals to achieve with this corporation. And since I'm going to croak before those goals are achieved, I felt that I should leave a sign for people so that other people can follow. Now, up here with this engraving, this is our solar system. You should recognize it. That's our sun, where we get all of our energy from on Earth. And a lot of it comes to us in turn from fossil fuels, saved up solar energy, which we're burning now at a profligate rate and will run out of in fairly short order, at least affordable fuel. So people are looking at renewables. They can help, but they're not going to maintain the kind of high consumptive energy existence that we are used to. And then there's all the rest of the planets, okay? Now, what about the configuration? Well, I have a program that figured out the position of all of those planets on the day that I was born, eh? So, if any aliens visit the planet after Homo sapiens are extinct, they'll know when I was born, okay? And this is another form of astronomical clock. This is not Neptune, Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter. Forgetting which planet. Jupiter, and it has 4 big moons, Io, and I don't remember all the names. Europa. Anyway, they circle around Jupiter in a very organized fashion and can be used as an astronomical clock also. And this is set at where those moons were at the time that I was born on the day that I was born. Okay? So that tells you the time. And so then I don't know what else I wrote on that side. Okay. So let's move up, and why don't you move back a little bit? And next up, and this is like the pièce de résistance, and the stone cutters here and in China or wherever the globe was cut. Where did they actually cut the globe? In China?
China.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of the stones, the complex shapes and so forth, were done, I believe, in China because, like, nobody here does them. And it's cheaper. And the stones, I don't know where they were mined, really. But I know they were different places because the rock, you can see the different colors, and every color basically comes from a different quarry. Mm-hmm. Okay?
This is from India.
This one's from India, okay. Mm-hmm. What about the gold, yellow, whatever?
This is China.
This is China. Mm-hmm. And what about the black?
It is India.
That's India? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so that's where all the stuff comes from. And then it all went to China to get cut into blocks, rough shape, and then was then shipped back here to Seattle, Tacoma area, where the cutters at Premier Memorial were the ones to do the final work, doing the engraving, and the chief designer there, Tom, who's actually Monty, who's behind the camera, translated my original drawings into all the specs that we needed to get it right. And the globe, being round, was probably among the most difficult things to get done. And the map really came out superbly. I am very pleased with the way the map came out. And if you look on the map, in certain places, you'll see little silver dots, silverish. They're not silver, okay? These are neodymium magnets. They're round magnets. We've got some that are ball-shaped. 4 of them, I believe, are ball-shaped. And then a whole bunch of disc magnets, flat ones, that are in other places. And where are these places? Well, these were all the places that I lived at one time or another for any reasonable amount of time. And so here in New York City, of course, you have a big ball, one of the bigger balls. Springfield, Missouri has one of the bigger balls. Up here in Alaska, you can't really see it because it's kind of under the stone. That feels like a flat one. Did you stick a flat one there? That was supposed to be a ball. Oh no, it's a ball. Okay, it's just flat. It's just deeper inset. And then in South America, down there, there should be one in Rio. Okay, over there. There it is. Okay, so that's mainly the spots I lived. Also Australia. Did we put one in Oz? Because I was there for a while too. Yeah, there's a magnet in Oz. My dad was stationed in Oz, and there's a magnet down there in Sydney. And he was not stationed for the military, it was a bank. He was a banker. Okay, and then as we move to the very top, the Capstone area, can we take this off? Yeah. Capstone area, we have an octagon, a flat, this one is a flat shape, it's not a solid. It is solid because it's been extended, okay? But the octagon shape is planar geometry, not solid geometry, okay? And that's important because in the sun symbol, it actually is an octagonal design. If you look at the way the rays come out of the sun design, you can show them the logo. You see that they also come out at 8 points. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right? Okay, and then going up, we have 2 rectangular discs, I believe these are also a smaller mirror of this. I think I did these as golden triangles also, golden rectangles. I'm not sure though. They may not be, because I think I might have had to adjust the size so everything would fit. And then on the very top is a sundial that has been engraved in, and it's got the months of the year, the 12 months of the Roman calendar that we use. I actually would have liked to use 13, but since we use 12 hours in a day, And you'll see the numbers. I'm not sure. I think they're in the right places, but I have to get up there and look. Let me see if I can climb my crippled ass up there. Don't do that? Okay.
You can see where at the front
that's
here,
insurance.
6 is here,
Uh-huh.
and up at the top is 12.
Oh, okay. I'll look at the movie later. You can actually tip that screen down so you can see what you're shooting better.
Okay.
At any rate, so you can see what I
shrinking.
can as I get sicker and sicker and sicker. And here's, I believe this is phases of the moon, although it's in a sun diagram, but this time it has only 6. Oh no, it has all 8 points. And I was going to have other symbols on there, but it was just getting too fucking complex. So I didn't do that. And so, also final feature that you will know about is, in researching stones, I looked to find out why some stones, the engravings last, whereas in other ones they don't. Okay? And it's partly to do with the hardness of the stone, but there's also a trick. And after watching or looking at a whole bunch of photographs of really old stones in Europe and here in the United States from like the 1500s, the trick is they have a hat on them. They have something that protects them from the rain coming straight down and running over the engraving. And over decades and centuries, that wears away the writing. So I put hats on this thing. It's got this little hat, then a bigger hat, and then another hat. So I got hats all the way down. So this engraving, the wording, should remain for, well, a few hundred years after I buy my ticket to the great beyond, okay? That's the goal. All right, and then to finish up what's visible, we have the 12 principles of sustainable living. And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on this side, and then 6 more on the other side. And I will get some pictures of this, still pictures, so you can read it better. And I will also provide the actual text, so that is better, because it is blocked some from the tetrahedron and the dodecahedron. You have to actually get down there real close to be able to see the words. Also, the Stonehenge over here, this shape, is a lot like the Stonehenge rocks that are set up by the Druids over in England, and you can actually walk around it. And if you look through the middle of it here, where I'm sticking my hand, wiggling my fingers, that at the right time of the year, at the solstice, the sun at sunrise should be dead center, come dead center through these stones. It won't be perfectly correct because the orientation on the plot is not perfect for that latitude. It's about a degree, 1.3 degrees off, I think. But I was not going to skew this by 1.3 degrees because it would have looked crooked to most people. So I just said I'll live with it being off 1 or 2 degrees. No big fucking deal. And so that's that. That's all the external parts. And then finally, like the Egyptian pyramids and other tombs, I felt that there should be a chamber inside it. Of course, it's small size, and I don't have thousands of slaves over a century to build me a monument, nor could I afford it. But what I did instead was somewhere hidden deep inside this stone is a capsule which has information in it that is important information for the future, for either aliens who arrive and find the stone, or else for a new species of the genus Homo that evolves after shit hits the fan day comes. And that new species will be called Homo dinerus, after the diner, right? Whatever. But anyway, it does contain information on the inside that is as protected from the elements on Earth as I could muster up. Okay? Solid granite, the best granite, cost me a fucking fortune, but it was still a good deal. And it's going to be in a fairly stable location on Earth, and barring collision with an asteroid, a planet killer asteroid in that location, or a nuclear bomb being dropped by the Chinese on that location, and I can't see why, because there's not too much there. They would do that. It should be okay. And there's no volcanoes that would pour lava on it, so there is a fault. There's the New Madrid fault is over there. So it might get swallowed up in an earthquake someday. But until that time, these stones should be with us. And that is all the doom from the tombstone cutters here in Tacoma, Washington. And if you are dying or otherwise have need of a rock monument, I can recommend Premier Monument of Tacoma, Washington. Hasta la Raven.